I was in America and made kimchi with my aunt.
And what are we making?
We are making kimchi.
Kimchi,
It's
okay.
a Korean vegetable dish that is it's really, every meal that Korean people have, they have to have kimchi.
Okay.
So kimchi and rice, and just like I would say in America, like bread and butter, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of like a main course.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're making kimchi right now. And
Where did you buy the cabbage?
at Oriental Food Market,
Okay.
it's there's, well, you know, we live in Lake Utah. There's one in Roy. It's called Ocean Mark. It's full of Oriental goodies.
And how often do you make kimchi?
How often?
Yeah.
I probably, if I make two heads like this, I probably make it every 2
Occasions.
I do. Being Korean, I always have to have it in my house.
And where did you get the recipe from?
I got the recipe from, well, you know, I was adopted by my mom and dad, my American mom and dad. And of course, you know, coming over here at age 14, I didn't know how to cook any of this. And so my mom, my American mother, basically made kimchi for me when I came to America. And I think she followed the recipes, and then I kind of watched her because I didn't have my mom to watch, you know, my birth mother, you know, so she died when I was young. So my American mother made it, and then I sometimes watch her how she makes it and everything, just kind of got the basic ideas. And then when I got married and moved out, I started making my own kimchi, and it's just kind of, I just knew what was in the kimchi, and so it's in my head. So as far as the recipe goes, you know, it's just what I was used to making. So I'm glad that my adopted parents did not, they kind of encouraged me to, you know, eat Korean food instead of saying, no, you can't, because you're in America, you can't eat this. You know, if they discouraged me, I wouldn't be eating Korean food, probably not. Because some of my friends that are adopted by the same orphanage as I am, some of the parents are like that. You know, it's like, you can't, you know, you shouldn't have Korean food.
Yeah.
You know, so. Okay. So like I said, I was just like, so glad that my mother kind of did everything she can to make sure that I would not go without eating my own culture food, you know what I mean? Where I came from. Because it was very difficult for me to eat American when I first came. Like, toast was something like I've never seen before. It's weird, you know?
Yeah. And you, like a lot of people, you didn't really like sweet food, right? Like super sweet stuff.
Yeah, we don't eat a lot of sweet.
No,
like,
don't eat a lot of sweet.
yeah, for desserts we usually will have like a fruit, like cut up oranges or apples, but
It's
not
more
a.
like natural.
That's right, natural sweet, not like a cake or brownies or things. You know, we don't eat too many. Well, there is it's called, the desserts that sometimes we have is called rice cake. It's called dog, and there are so many different variations of different types of dog made with, you know, dark beans, red beans, or, you know, just a rice. There's so many different type of rice cake, and sometimes we eat that as a dessert, and it just tastes like rice. It doesn't have any sweetness or nothing like that at all. So.
Do you mostly eat Korean food, or will you sometimes eat a lot of American food?
I prefer to have a Korean food if I could have it every day, but I have to be respectful of my husband who's Italian, and I have kids that are American, you know, so I do eat Korean food quite often, probably like 3-4 times a week. Every day if I could, of course, but yeah, just so we eat a variety of foods.
Do you have a stick recipe for your kimchi, or do you just kind of choose as you go along?
I just make it as I go. Yeah. I think about my country and that where I came from, where I was born, and I also think about whenever I make kimchi, I just think about how I want to make sure that I want to teach how to make kimchi to my kids, so I can pass on the generations of, the culture.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, so I figure if I don't make it, and if my kids have never seen me make it, then they won't even know. But because I love to eat it, kimchi is really good for you in many ways. It has a lot of natural herbs, fresh garlic, fresh ginger, onions.
Do you make it all year round, or is there a season or time of the year where you make it more than others?
For me, because I live in America, I just kind of make it as I need it. So, but in Korean, traditional Korean people, just like in the fall, they would make a bunch, and then they would probably bury it in a big pot under the ground. So they would have enough kimchi to last throughout the winter,
Yeah. You learned how to make this all by yourself when you were what, like 14, 15, young?
I would probably say, I probably saw the ladies in orphanage make kimchi,
Yeah.
but I didn't really get to have pay attention. I didn't get that kind of opportunity. So I think when I came over 14, I saw my American mother make it, and then when I moved out, when I got married and when I moved out, I just started making it because, with what I know what's in it, so I made it, and then it wasn't the best tasting kimchi, but as I make it more and more and more, then I gotten better.
Yeah.
And then what I like, what I don't like, so then that was just kind of.
Does every Korean person know how to make it?
They should, but I don't think they all do.
Can you buy it in Korea?
Yeah, you could buy it.
Buy it?
Yeah, at the stores. People, a lot of Korean people will make them and they just put them in the market, you could buy them. Yeah, some of my friends that came here adopted by others, I just feel sorry for them because they love to eat, but, Korean food, but they don't know how to, I think because of some of their parents have discouraged them, I feel very fortunate that my mother kind of made sure I had my Korean food and didn't never discourage me. In fact, she encouraged me to keep Korean food, So I'm just like really glad, and then I could pass it down to my kids and my grandkids, That's important, I think, especially being adopted.
Is it part of the Korean culture to cook a lot?
Yes, yes.
You make a lot of homemade food?
Yeah, whenever we have a guest, we always make sure we feed them. We cannot let them go without feeding them. That's just part of the Korean culture.
And do you buy all of the ingredients at the same store?
Yes. Yeah, Yeah, because if I go to American store, they don't always have everything that I need, all the spices.
Yeah.
So then I end up going to like 2 or 3 stores. I just go to Oriental Food Market and buy everything that I need from there. Make one trip,
Are there Koreans that you'll meet in here, and they'll all, of course, know what kimchi is and all that, and then they'll all know how to probably make it, and then you share your recipes with them?
Of course, yes, we do, yes. When I go to Korean church, and we kind of cook together and share some different recipes for there's so many different variations of kimchi. There's different types of kimchi. There's spinach kimchi, there's cucumber kimchi, and there's radish kimchi,
The spices also change, I'm guessing.
Oh yes, definitely. Depends on what kind of dish you're making. In America, let's just, for example, like my kids living in America, I don't think they'll make it as much as I would make it, But I hope they'll make it for me when I get too old and I can't make it anymore. Because people living in Korea, of course, they have a different lifestyle, And the things that they could buy is more easily available than here.
Yeah.
But in generally speaking, Korean food is very light, and I feel like, it's very healthy. because we boil a lot of like for fish, for example, like instead of American people, I noticed they fry fish where we boil them. We eat them in a soup and things like that. It's how you prepare it, makes a difference and tastes lighter versus heavier, And MSG is one of those ingredients that I know, since I lived in America, there's been times where people say, or studies can come out and say, the MSG is bad for you and things like that. But, but then so there's lots of other things, and it's just, you have to use it in moderation. Everything you have to use it in moderation. And so, but MSG is one of those ingredients to me, but to most Korean people. It's important to have when you make a dish, make sure it's made a pretty and colorful way,
You said you taste your food as you are cooking it?
Yes. So yeah, like I said, I would just kind of pour things in there, but salt here.
Why is the MSG so important for the dish? Isn't the flavor
it gives a certain flavor mixed in with the sugar and salt.
Yeah.
It's just you wouldn't want to taste that MSG just by itself because it just doesn't taste good. Yeah, but it's very, very important.
And you never write the measurements down?
I do have a recipe written down.
Okay, you do.
For my kids. Because they're like, Mom, where's the recipe? I was like, it's in my head. And in tradition, in Korean people, I know I do, but a lot of Korean people practice whenever their family members get sick with some sort of flu or something like that, especially in the winter time, we boil this kimchi because it has all the herbs in it. We boil it, and then we just make sure they eat kimchi soup with their rice. And this is my tradition.
Yeah.
See the salsa you have left there?
Yeah.
And I will put some fresh rice in here. Mix it all together and eat them. My girls and I, it's just one of those fun things that I do. I always have to make sure I have a fresh rice. And I'll just put the rice in here. See if there's a sticky rice that we made. The recipe for making a good rice, the sticky rice is first of all, you buy round rice. That's a sticky rice.
Yeah.
Calrose brand is pretty good. So then I put rice in there, and then I mix it, and then I eat it.
Yeah.
So that's fun part of the kimchi making. Of that. So what I'll do is.
Do people ever eat it without rice, or is that kind of unheard of?
Kimchi?
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll eat it. I think some people maybe some men, they may just eat kimchi with drinking beer or something like that, But to me, since I don't drink, I just make sure I always eat it with rice.
Yeah.
And some people eat just bread and kimchi too, that I have, it's called bang, means bread in Korea. And they'll eat that bread and then, so this is my way of when you go shopping, how sometimes you have to go out to eat just to kind of make the shopping fun.
Yeah.
So for me to make kimchi and eating, putting the rice in a sauce instead of just rinsing it off, that's just fun for me. I'll eat this, My mom over, my sister over, my son and my husband. So, but usually I would eat this right away, the whole thing. But I'll take a bite. So good.